Anderson, and this is episode 280. And I have to say, because this is coming out in May 2024, that we're actually celebrating 15 years of podcasting The Dream Show. We started in 2009. We started with a weekly show, and that was quite a lot of energy, and quite soon we changed it to the 4-weekly format that we use now. So 218 may not sound like a lot of episodes compared with other long-running shows, but we have been going a very long time. 15 years we celebrate today. And today's guest is Ania. Ania is from Krakow in Poland. And I have just finished talking with Ania. I've just finished exploring her dream with her and giving her some dream alchemy. And I know you're going to love this one. So I'm about to go over to our conversation. But just before I do, a little reminder that the way to be a guest on The Dream Show is to go to my website at janeteresa.com. That's Teresa without an H. Go to the menu, go to podcasts, and underneath there, you'll find a page on how to be a guest on The Dream Show. It's really simple. You just fill in a simple form with your name, your email address, and a sentence about yourself. The last thing I want to know is your dream, because as you know, if you're a listener, a regular listener to the show, I don't know anything about the guest's dream until we start recording. So we pick a guest somewhere in the world and we make the arrangement to make the connection, do the recording, and that's when I hear the dream for the first time, which you're about to hear with Ania. And you did that. We always need more guests. If you'd love to be a guest on The Dream Show, it's a wonderful contribution to make to all our listeners. So I thank you for thinking about doing that. Also, just before we go to Ania, a reminder of both of my websites. If you want to study dreams online and learn from my e-courses, go to the Dream Academy, and the address for that is dream-academy-online.com. dream-academy-online.com, where you can do 4 of my courses. The first 2 are at your own pace, in your own time, and the first one's called How to Interpret Your Dreams Step by Step. So there's that. And my main website, which has actually been going for since 1998, the first variation of my website. So we're celebrating however many years that is now, 26 years of working online. And that website, which has gone through many changes since it was first launched, of course, is janeteresa.com. You can go there to listen to every episode of The Dream Show that's ever been. And of course, you can always listen to the most recent ones on all the usual platforms, Apple, Spotify, and so on. But all the podcasts that have ever been are on janeteresa.com, as are hundreds of blogs about dreams and dreaming that I've written, as are information about my books, and a lot more besides. And if you want to book a personal appointment with me, you can find out about that at janeteresa.com too. But I know you're not here for any of that. I know you're here to listen to me exploring Ania's dream with her. So here we go. Welcome to The Dream Show, Ania.
Hi.
It's lovely to speak with you, and you're in Poland.
Yes, in Krakow.
In Krakow. Have you lived there long?
I've been living there for like maybe 15, 16 years. I've been moving to some other places, but yes, 15 years, let's say.
So you're very well settled.
Yes, I love the place where I live.
Oh, that's great. So I love the place where I live too. So are you ready to share a dream? As everyone listening knows, I know nothing about the dream you're about to present to me. So I've got my pen, I've got my paper, I'm ready to take notes if you're ready to tell me.
Yes, I'm ready. So this was the dream that I had 2 weeks ago. I hope it's okay that it's not the newest, like from yesterday or the day before yesterday. So I'm starting. So we cruised with my ex-boyfriend to Martinica, or it was maybe some other French Caribbean island. And my ex-boyfriend, he needed to, I mean, in this dream, he was still my boyfriend, but in reality, he's my ex-boyfriend, just to,
Yeah.
be specific. Uh, so he needed to go in some other direction, as he needed to organize immigration papers for himself. And I went sightseeing, I guess, and I meet this man. He was from Poland. And I asked him to show me the directions as I needed to go somewhere. I was looking for some place. I think it was related to the fact that I needed to print something and hang something around, like post. I don't quite remember. And then my boyfriend joined us, and there were three of us. And before we split with this man, I wanted to ask him for his phone number because I thought it would be nice, to say goodbye, just asking him, do I have some, so to, before we say goodbye, to have some contact details so we can catch up later because I knew that we will be coming back to that island. But I was quite uneasy to, you know, mm, ask in front of my boyfriend because I didn't want him to draw some wrong conclusions. So I was thinking maybe I will ask in Polish. My boyfriend was French, so he doesn't understand. So I was thinking of the way to ask. Um, and yes, and this man, he told me he was introvert. I think he even said he was autistic. Um, and yes, some other details that I remembered. When I reached the island, I was wearing like a navy blue onesie with long sleeves and long pants. And I was worrying a bit because I was thinking, wow, if I need to swim, that it will be really difficult with long pants and long sleeves. I will get all wet. Um, and I remember that when I reached this island, it didn't look like a postcard scenery, like with the beach and with the sea. It was more like a small town, not particularly pretty. I mean, just regular, just like normal. Um, and there was a concert, and I was going through that crowd, looking for someone to show me the direction because I really needed to reach someplace. Uh, and surprisingly, I met this Polish couple, and then I met this man, and he was Polish too. Yes, and I think he was like a musician or maybe like a guide, like a tour guide, something like that. Um, yes. Okay. And it felt good to be spending time with him. And I was actually a little bit disappointed when my boyfriend joined us. And um, um, and I was also slightly put off by the way he looked, my boyfriend, when he joined us. Um, um, Yes, and the last thing that I remember from the dream, it was that the three of us reached the place that we needed to reach, and I was hesitating to ask for the phone number, and eventually I asked, and he wrote it with a ball pen on a piece of paper, and I took this piece of paper and and I hid it somewhere, maybe into my pocket, and yes, that was it.
That's lovely. I love it. Thank you. How did you feel at the end of the dream, knowing that you had got the piece of paper?
Yes, I felt like it's like a kind of an information or something. Yes, it was kind of important that I got it.
Did your boyfriend notice the transaction in the end? Did he notice that you got the piece of paper?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
It's
Mm.
really interesting too that you specified that he gave you the phone number on a piece of paper written with a pen instead
Yeah.
of on a phone, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, true.
yeah. Did that feel strange getting it on a paper and pen, or did that feel quite normal?
It felt more like more like it's some hidden message. Like it's more, yeah. Mm.
Secret?
Yes, secret. Yes, thank you.
I love that. And yet earlier on when you were asking this Polish guy to give you the directions to somewhere, you said you weren't sure, but you felt it had to do with maybe printing something or putting posters up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is paper again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
True.
any idea what the posters might have been about, or any feeling for what the printing might have been about?
Yes, I think it was about I think I was looking for a job maybe. It was like an ad that you put, like hang on in the supermarket or whatever, that you were looking for a job
Right,
this
okay.
way.
So you were asking directions from someone to find the right place to get the piece of paper that you would be able to put up. This asking again for directions to a job. There's a kind of like keep asking there.
Yes,
Yeah. And then at the end of the dream, asking for the phone number because you want to stay in contact. So there's this kind of feeling that at one point I want to have these posters on the wall. I want everybody to see these posters and everybody to see that I'm looking for a new job and it's right out there. And on the opposite side, you're hiding secret things in your pockets and hiding away and not wanting your boyfriend in the dream to notice that you're asking this new Polish guy for directions. So there's kind of on the one hand, there's out there in advertising, and on the other hand, there's keep a secret, hide it away, two
mhm.
opposites.
Yes, that's true. Yes, that feels like that.
Yeah. Um, and also a little bit similar, but not quite. When you arrived on the cruise, you arrived at the French island. You were wearing that beautiful navy onesie, which was
Mm.
a kind of a complete cover up, really. Long arms, long legs,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm.
And yet you thought that's going to get in the way. I can't swim in that. I'll get wet. You know, you need
Yes,
no, you don't need those kind of clothes on to go swimming.
yes.
Yeah.
And this is like a recurrent theme in my dreams that mm, something with the clothes, that I feel that I'm not wearing the right clothes.
Yes.
I need different clothes.
Yes, different clothes for different. Is that generally in the recurring dreams, different clothes for different activities? Like in this one, this wouldn't help for swimming, or is it sometimes just in any situation, I'm here and I'm wearing the wrong clothes?
Yes, maybe different clothes for different activities. Like I'm going to a party and I need and I feel like I need to pick some clothes and it takes time and I just don't feel those clothes.
Yes, yeah. So it's very much a sense then of how am I appearing in public? Is it how I'm
Mm.
appearing in public and how are people seeing me with what I'm wearing? Or is it more an internal thing of I can't do what I need to do wearing these clothes?
Yeah, I think the second one.
Yeah, I think so, particularly given the opening of the dream. Like you were happy wearing the navy suit until you realised, yeah, but I want to swim. I can't swim in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we transfer even just that little bit to life at the moment, do you feel that there might be situations in life where you can't do what you really want to do because you're constrained in some kind of way by either by your image or by expectations upon you or expectations upon yourself?
Yes, totally. I don't think I'm able to put it in words right now, that like specifically the feeling, but definitely I feel that way.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
often our clothes and our dreams, well, of course, they symbolize all kinds of things, but they often symbolize how we think we're projecting ourselves to others or the image that we think that we are, showing other people, as opposed to it would not be appropriate to go about in life with no clothes on, of course. But if you imagined yourself with no clothes, you'd be saying, this is the real me. This is who I
Yeah.
am. These
Yeah.
are the things that I can do, but we each choose to wear different things, partly for practicalities because it might be cold or hot, and
Mhm.
otherwise to project a kind of image about ourselves. So your dreams are sort of suggesting it's not actually about clothes and what clothes you wear during the
Mhm.
day, but it's saying I am projecting myself in one way or seeing myself in one way, whereas in fact I need to be in a different way in order to do the kind of things that I need to do.
Hmm. Yes, I definitely agree. And it's the feeling, I cannot shake that something is off. Like, yeah, like
Yeah.
in reality. That's, yeah, yeah.
So you've got that captured in the dream. That's indicated as looking for a new job, isn't it? And
Mm,
putting up the posters. And of course, that may be directly relevant. You may be looking for, actually, I'm looking for a new job. And it can also come at another level. It can be, I'm looking for a different way of being. I'm looking for a different way of expressing myself. I'm
yes,
advertising myself in a different way. Would you like to take it up from there?
yes, this resonates big time with me. Not looking for a new job, but just like expressing myself maybe differently. Yes, yes. I feel a little bit like restrained in the role that I am currently, and I feel that there is something more to it. I just yes, cannot
Put your
get
finger
to
on
it.
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's lovely as a starting point, just knowing that there is something that you want to change or a different way that you want to
Mm,
be in the world. And a lot of people
mm,
would turn
mm.
back at that point and say, well, I don't know what it is, so well, what can I do about it? And I love that you're persisting in saying, no, there's something, and I'm going to wait here until I can actually feel and see what it is. But I know that there's
Yeah,
something different calling me. Yeah, and that's really
absolutely.
great. Yeah, that's really lovely. So if we start at the beginning of the dream, because the beginning of the dream will often reflect the situation that the dream is going
Hmm.
on to explore. So the situation puts you, well, forget about the ex-boyfriend for the moment. We would definitely come back to him. But cruising to Martinica, a French island. Is that a French island that you've been to before or you know
Yes,
well?
yes. I've been to Guadalupe. Um,
Yes,
yes, I was there for like I spent there like a month, and I was with that boyfriend. Uh,
with him then. And how did
yeah.
it go? How did it go?
Um, it was a beautiful place. The experience was a bit rough. We were arguing. Um, mm, but I have good memories, I would say.
What would you say was the energy or the feeling of the island? If the island was a person, what would it be?
Huh. Mm, it was lush. There was a jungle there, and close to the jungle there was the sea. So when it comes to, like nature-wise, it was beautiful and vibrant and very interesting. Because his mother she was living there, and she was giving us those tours, and she was talking a lot about history and culture. So cultural wise, it was super interesting. And, yeah,
That's really
and
good.
nature wise, very lush and
Yeah, and
vibrant.
lush. So you've got the dreamer starting by saying, forget about the island for the moment. It's saying there's a situation in my life where the thing is, Ania, want to be lush, vibrant, interesting, have a deep and interesting
Mm,
culture and history. I want some of that
mm,
energy in my life. And
mm.
the rest of the dream goes on to explore, well, how do you get that? What's in the way?
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
And just to jump ahead a little bit, I really like the fact that your dream ended, it didn't end with a complete answer, but it ended very positively because you got the phone number and you put it in your
Yes,
pocket. Yeah. And even
yes.
even though it was hidden and it was secret, it was like, yes, I got that. I got a success at the end of the dream.
Mhm. Nice.
Yeah.
So good to
Um,
hear.
yeah, something good. And when you do have a dream that has a resolved ending or at least a good step, it often reflects that your dreaming mind was processing a bit of a change, that you're further ahead in solving an issue or finding direction than you believe that you are. Your whole dream, you used the word direction several times. I was looking for someone to give me the direction, or this the
Yes.
direction. So the whole dream is I'm looking for a direction as to how to be more lush, vibrant, interesting in my life. And at the end, you get a secret hidden message as to a first step in how to achieve that. So that's good.
Yes,
Yeah. And
I
part of
love
that,
it.
so do I, part of that vibrancy and that lushness is then reflected too. And I'm totally wearing the wrong thing with this navy suit. I need to get this off. I need to be in the vibrancy of the sea. I need to be in the ocean. I need to be
Yes,
soaked in it.
yes, yes, totally.
When you think of that navy onesie, is that the kind of clothes that you do have in your wardrobe somewhere?
And I do have these ones in my wardrobe, but it's the thing that I very rarely wear because I like the style, but it doesn't fit me. Each time I'm putting it on, I'm like, I cannot go out like this. I don't feel myself in it. It just doesn't fit.
Right. What kind of person would it fit?
Like someone shorter
Oh,
because
okay.
it's too small, first of all, and maybe someone slimmer a little bit. Um, and I don't I think it's just the wrong tailoring, you know. It's just it's it's not well tailored piece of clothing.
Not well tailored. I love that. So, yeah, number one on the side, straight after we've recorded this interview, you should go and recycle that because you don't need it. You should go and
Yes,
send
I'm
it to
trying to
somebody.
recycle it. I'm trying it at this moment, actually.
Yeah, that's good. So it's something that is, forget that it's clothing now, make it a bit vaguer. In the stream, you're wearing something that's basically tailored for somebody else. It's not tailored for you. Right. And also, there and in real life, you feel you've outgrown that particular outfit. We'll put it that way.
Ah,
It's not that it needs
mhm,
someone shorter and smaller. It's that it's brought up in the dream because I have outgrown this. This is something that worked for me once and it doesn't work
mm,
for me now, which is what we should all feel as we grow older and older. We should feel, yes, that's good. I've outgrown that stage. I'm ready for the next stage now. And so many of us don't. We go, oh, yeah, I've done that. That's all over. I'm getting too old or whatever. Not that you're old at all. I'm
mm,
looking at you through Zoom. But, the positive thing to do is always to say, well, I've lived that part of my life. I've outgrown that. I'm ready for something different now. What is that?
mm.
Which brings us back to your dream. Well, actually, it's more vibrancy, more interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that's tailored just for me, not tailored for how I was in the past. So, one thing although you're unsure of your direction or you're unsure of how to get what you want, you can ask yourself a kind of reverse question by saying, how have you tailored your life up to now? Now, Anya, there are an awful lot of people listening in, so you don't have to say something you don't want to say, but you can share whatever you like to share. But if I say this dream is suggesting that you have tailored a certain situation for yourself that you have outgrown, is there anything that you'd like to say about that?
Mm, and the thing that comes to my mind at this point is that um, mm, the job I had, like what I am doing, like professionally, it's kind of like um, it kind of has a frame that I am like feeling, but it, it's I think that mm, how to say, I think that I need to like at this point ask myself how much of me can I bring to that thing that I'm doing, not to
Yes.
follow some structure that was in that I impose on me, but how to make it my own a little bit more, how to just um, bring myself front more. And yeah,
Absolutely perfect. I love it. To tailor something that's more appropriate to you.
yes,
Yes, and closer to who you are, your natural
yes,
self, and is more
yes,
vibrant and interesting, and may or may
yes,
not bring back culture, historical culture that you said you were interested in the dream.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And I understand it's not easy. One thing is realizing that, and it's not easy to necessarily know what to do next, but there will be clues in your dream that we'll go for here. But,
yeah,
sometimes just step one, acknowledging that a dream is really closely mirroring what is happening for you, and being able to see it in metaphors sometimes helps. So to be able to
Mhm.
say now, you probably knew that about your job already, but to be able to change the language and say, the job that I'm in at the moment is the wrong tailoring for me. I'm bigger than that. I need something bigger. I need to step out of that. Gives you that kind of metaphor to work with.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
It's I still love what I'm doing. It's just the way of doing that. I feel that I'm changing, and the way of doing what I'm doing will be changing. So,
yes, that sounds absolutely beautiful to me. So we're
mhm.
changing the way that you do it, changing what you wear to do it, changing your image, finding a bigger
Yeah,
space, changing your energy, which is reflected in
yeah.
your image, the whole thing. So we have some other clues, and the first clue is that your ex-boyfriend is your boyfriend in the dream. Now, this may be because he was on that island at the time when you actually went.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it may be because when you did actually go to the island, you had an argument, you were fighting a bit. So it may be,
Mhm.
yeah, some conflict. But I'm going to go for asking you what three words you would use to describe his personality or approach to life. Not in the dream, in real life.
Um, he's um mm, an outsider. He's quirky. Um, mm, and he's kind of conflicted, like internal,
Yeah, conflicted.
troubled, troubled, maybe a little bit.
So he's conflicted and troubled, an outsider, and he's also quirky, which
Mm,
quirky is a good thing, usually, I think.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mm,
him being with you at the beginning of the dream is saying, at the beginning of the dream, I'm feeling this is not necessarily how other people see you, but it's saying, I am feeling a little bit partnered to a feeling of being conflicted, a feeling of being an outsider. And I want to be on this island. I want to be vibrant, interesting, and closer to who I really am. But I'm a little bit worried about that because I'm also feeling a bit of an outsider in some
mm,
context.
Okay, yes, I see that.
Yeah. Would that be an outsider in your how you would envisage yourself moving forward, or an outsider in your current situation?
Um, I think the first one, I think it's a little bit how I will be moving forward. And I'm afraid of that.
Yes,
Um,
which is natural.
yeah.
Stepping out of
Hmm.
comfort zone is really scary.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
stepping out to do something original and different and authentic is even more scary. And you,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I'm not that
And
I know what you're going to do. I'm just guessing.
yes, and there's this worrying that maybe I don't know, it's not like rational, but not that maybe not everybody will understand, and how will I be with my friends, and yeah.
Yes. Yeah. How will I advertise? How will I put up the poster? How will I explain this differently to people?
Yeah. I don't know what it is though. I have some like some faraway ideas, but yeah,
Yeah.
the
Well,
outsider matches that
matches. Yeah,
idea.
that's right. So because and I like you say far away ideas, and you put yourself on a French island, so that's kind of far away as well. Yeah.
Ah,
So
true.
even just knowing basic things like whatever you choose going forward, Anya, it's good to know that a part of yourself feels, oh yeah, but I feel like an outsider if I do that. Or if I choose this one instead, I'll feel like an outsider. It's like whatever I do, there's going to be a part of me that's conflicted because I'm going to feel like an outsider. So that tells us that one of the important things we do at the end of talking about this dream is to find out why you feel like an outsider and flip that so that you're then freer to choose any decision you want to choose and go into it without being limited by feeling like an outsider.
I love that.
Yeah,
I would love
this is really good. And I think sometimes we think of ourselves as an outsider when we're in our comfort zone, in our community, everything that we
that.
know. And so we think when we step outside that we'll be an outsider because we'll be outside of our comfort zone and our community. But what we forget is there's a great big wide huge global community out there, and stepping outside of our comfort zone is stepping inside a different one. And inside that different community, you're an insider over there. You're not an outsider. You may feel like you're an outsider from where you were, but you're an insider in the new place. So we can think sometimes when I'm going to make a great big change, I'm going to be so, no one's going to like what I do. But the fact that you make a change moving towards the people that are ready to accept what you've got to offer, you will be embraced as an insider there.
Yes. I don't know what exactly I will be doing, but what you're saying gives me a motivation.
Yeah, that's
And,
good.
this is how I feel listening to you. Thank you.
That's great. That's fantastic. So, your reason why your boyfriend walked away in the dream, ex-boyfriend, was he had to go to get some immigration or something. Do you remember any more details of that?
When we were traveling together, we were traveling together for a couple of years, 2 years, and when we were crossing the border with United States and Mexico, he was stopped at the border, and there were problems with his kind of visa, and he was deported back to France. So this is how our relationship ended. Yeah.
Okay. So that problem with the immigration in the dream suggests there's an imminent ending to something, or last time we went through this procedure, everything changed. There was a big change in the air. And it can also be maybe I feel like I've got some paperwork that's not quite right. I'm not allowing, which is not true in waking life, but I feel like I haven't got the paperwork to go and do something different that I want to do. Will I get it right? Will I be accepted again? Because to immigrate or to have a visa into the United States and not be deported is to be accepted into the country, isn't it? Yeah. So again, you've got this thing as the change I want to make. I'm worried that I won't be accepted. I'll be thrown out. Yeah.
Yeah, this resonates though.
Good. That's good. So we need to let that go. So I love then that in the dream you go to printing something. You want to really put this out there. No, I'm really ready. I'm ready for a change. I want to see something different. And that's when you meet the Polish man, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And how did you feel he was going to be able to help you in the dream?
He knew his way around the town, so I needed some directions, and I kind of felt I had them.
And you described him as, I think, I'm just looking through my notes, I think you said introverted and maybe autistic.
Yes.
Yeah.
He told me he was autistic. It's not that I figured it out myself. He was repeating it like several times.
All right, okay. So what message did you take from that in the dream? In what ways did you find him being introverted and autistic were going to be positive to help to you in finding direction?
So he was he didn't open up like at the beginning he was very distant, was polite, normal, but not overly friendly. But I felt good being like surrounded by his energy. I felt safe, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed his company.
What particularly made you feel safe?
The fact that he knew his way around town, and that he didn't use that much words, he didn't spoke that much. He was just calm and just, yeah.
I love that. So when you're looking for the direction as to what to do next, you're looking for something that has got clarity, not too many words. You want to be able to reduce it down to something simple and calm. And you're also in the dream saying, you felt safe with him because he knew his way around.
Yeah.
So you're looking to connect with a part of yourself that does know its way around. It's not like, I want to go into something completely different. that I don't know anything
Mm.
about. It's not that. It's drawing on something that you actually know so very well. You know this situation, this job, whatever it is, this way of life. You know it extremely well. You know your way around every corner of it, and you can perhaps take the emotion out of it, take the big story out of it, and reduce it down to a very clear few words. And if you can do that, then you know what your direction is.
Mm. Very interesting. I don't have the answer at the moment, but kind of rings a bell.
Yeah, well, we'll do some more details in the dream, and it will trickle through into your conscious mind over the next couple of days, and you'll begin to see. But it is basically saying that as far as your dreaming mind is concerned, it's not looking for something totally different. It's coming from your inner
Mm-hmm.
world. You do know it's something you know so well. But to go back to your clothing metaphor, it's no longer tailored for you. You've outgrown it. It needs to be bigger. It needs to look different. But it's taking
Mm-hmm.
something you know well into a different space, making it more vibrant, making it more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
something that when
Mm-hmm.
it does strike you, it's really clear and easy to define.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably why you were looking for printing for a poster, because on a poster, you haven't got room to write lots of words. You've got to really shout out with a few key words, haven't you? Music
Yes. Yes.
concert or whatever it is, yeah.
Yes.
So you're looking there at if I can tune into this energy and get what it is that I want down to a few simple words, I'll know what it is. I'll be able to say, this is what I want. Just get it down to a few simple words.
Yes. Yes. You put it perfectly.
Yeah,
Totally.
that's lovely. So no wonder you want to get his phone number because you want more details on this. And you're uneasy when the boyfriend arrives back. And you would be uneasy because that's saying, well, that's like going back to everyone in a dream representing something about you. So when your ex-boyfriend's
Mm-hmm.
there, it's saying that that's the conflicted, troubled part of myself that feels like an outsider. You don't want that part of yourself to know that you're making plans to actually go off and do something different. So no wonder you feel uncomfortable there. Just looking through my notes when you were reading out your dream. Oh, yeah. Also, the island, you said it didn't look like it would look on a postcard. It wasn't like a beach. It was a small town. It was regular, not particularly pretty.
Yes.
But how did you feel about being there in the dream?
Um, I had the feeling that it's not like industrial, but um, not like those cozy, charming little towns when you can stroll the streets. It's more like regular, not what you would expect from Caribbean islands, you know? It was
Yes.
just like every other like normal place, not like what you had in mind thinking of Caribbean island. Yeah, people were just living there like normal.
Like normal. So there's a sense there that part of you might have a picture postcard idea of what else you could do in life, of where you're going.
Mhm.
But your dream is basically suggesting, yes, but with any picture postcard ideal kind of scenario that we think up, when we get there, it's normal in a good way from listening to you, in a good way in that
Mhm.
you can find your way around, you
Yes.
can do things.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not just like a quick holiday and you're away.
Like familiar, like kind of
Familiar.
familiar. Well, like yeah.
So that's really good on two fronts. One is saying, when I make this change, I'm still going to be in familiar territory, even though part of me might be a bit worried about it. And the other one is that, when I want to be more vibrant, more interesting, drawing on something within myself that I've outgrown, that I'm ready to tailor in a different way, that I know extremely well. When I get to that place, I'm actually going to feel, phew, this is good because this feels really familiar to me. I know what I'm doing. Which fits in with that whole thing of you saying it's like, or between us exploring, saying it's drawing on something that you actually know really well. The Polish guy on the island, you felt safe with him
Mhm.
because he actually knew his way around. When you
Yes.
arrive at this new thing in life, this new way of being, when you arrive there, you're going to realize you actually know your way around. It's going to be very familiar to you.
Mhm.
And that's a really very, very comforting thought.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. I'm just thinking whether I use the word familiar and if I am like really if this is what it felt like familiar because it was new. It was still Caribbean island. It wasn't that extraordinary as you would expect. Yes, familiar kinda, just normal. Just like I was
Yeah.
in a new place. It was just like streets people like nothing extraordinary.
Nothing
That's
extraordinary.
familiar.
Yes. So you may be limiting you may have been limiting yourself to decide what this thing is that you were going to do because it felt like such a huge step to go to something that is extraordinary. I can't because it's so
Mm,
extraordinary and I'll be an outsider and so amazing, but your dreaming mind is reframing it and saying, well, maybe it's not so extraordinary. Maybe it is actually something regular that you can do. Don't
yeah.
stress out about it because this is familiar territory to you, even though
Mhm.
it's even though it's more vibrant and different. It's the same you, but it's just out there more and more vibrant in a different context.
Yes, that sounds perfectly.
Yeah, that's good. I'm just looking at my notes again. You also felt that the Polish guy was maybe a musician or a tour guide.
Yes, I got that feeling from him.
Yeah. So the tour guide bit works in with what you were saying. He kind of knows the island well, knows the direction.
Yeah.
What does music or musicians mean to you?
It means that somebody is very sensitive, artistic, that has like like a talent, like a calling, like a channel. Um, like is connected.
I just
Something.
wrote that all down. A talent,
Okay.
a calling, a channel, connected.
Hmm.
So you're wanting to tune into a part of yourself that has a talent, that feels like a calling or is calling to you, that feels like a channel or being offering yourself up as a channel that enables you to be more connected. And you're probably all those things already, but your dreaming mind is saying more and more of this. You've outgrown where you were, make it bigger. So
Mm.
those are the key. It's beginning to help you to define what it is. Every time you think, could it be this? Could it be that? Could it be that? Go back and question yourself. Does it involve a talent that I already have? Even though
Mm.
I may need to unleash my limits that I think I've got and make that talent bigger. Does it feel like
Mm.
a calling?
Yeah.
Is there a sense of channeling or offering myself as a channel? And does it involve a sense of connection? And that can be like your 4 questions that you ask of every situation you consider moving into, and it must tick all 4 boxes if it's going to work.
Mm. I'm gonna quickly write it down.
That's right, I'll say it again for you. Talent, a calling, a channel, and a connection.
Thank you.
So you know those things, you kind of appreciate them in the dream, and you want to follow them up later. You take the phone number, but
Hmm.
at this stage, at the end of the dream, you put it in your pocket. It's kind of hidden. So you're not
Hmm.
quite ready at the end of the dream to go, yeah, bring on the posters. I'm ready to tell everyone what I'm going to do. It's like, I'm just going to keep this a bit secret for a while I think about this and while I feel comfortable about it. And that's fine. Any change we make, we can just jump into it the next day. And sometimes that works. Or we can say, let me just acclimatize to this. Let me take it slowly. Let me test the waters. Yeah.
Hmm.
Which kind of person are you in that respect for change?
Um, I'm both in different situation, I think, but with what we are talking right now and what I have in mind during this conversation, I think the second one. I want to test the waters. I want to just incubate a little bit.
That's fantastic, because in a way, I guess I said test the waters because it is a common cliche, but also because at the beginning of the dream you were wondering about getting in the water as well.
Mm.
So, yes. So that gives you, what a dream doesn't tell you what to do, But a dream reflects where you're at and shows you where there are limitations, where there are conflicts, and where there are potential openings, where there's readiness for change. And the dream also shows you things that you have forgotten about yourself, such as that, my greater talent, my calling. And it calls
Mm-hmm.
you to that. And your dream is also then drawing attention to that ability which you prefer, which would be to take things slowly and to test the
Mm-hmm.
waters before
Mm-hmm.
putting the great big posters out there.
Yes. Okay, yes. I see it this way too.
Okay, that's great. So we usually at this stage move to do some dream alchemy, which I will come to in a minute. But before we do that, I want to ask you if you've got any other questions or observations you want to make about the dream so far.
Um, I feel that gave me so many information that I need to go back to this conversation once again once it's out. And I will probably have to listen to it like repeatedly a couple of times. Um, yes, it feels like I like what I got from this. It's like this confidence that what I'm having is kind of um saying like my consciousness is giving me my subconsciousness is giving me green light
Yes, I love
on the
that.
direction.
A green light. So, and you're right, our dreams show us very much our unconscious experiences as well as our conscious ones. So when we're looking at what's unconscious, by definition, it's not conscious. We don't know about it. so
Mm-hmm.
so once you do see something in a dream, it can take a while for it to trickle into fully into consciousness to really get. It can take 1 or 2 days before you go, oh yeah, I kind of got the full picture now. The other thing to say before we do the dream alchemy is the dream always reflects the 1 or 2 days before the dream, what happened for you, what came up. And then while your dream is processing that 1 to 2 days, it then refers back to things in the past that were similar, which is why I think it took you back to the island that you had actually been to in the past. So it's taking you
Mm-hmm.
back to similar experiences while you make up your
Mm-hmm.
mind about this change. So there's that, but yes, it usually takes a few days for the full thing to really hit you as to what it's about, which is why it's great to have the podcast because you can listen to it again. And when I do private consultations with people, they usually record it so they can actually listen later and sink in. So dream alchemy is when we work with the symbols of a dream to help us to move further forward, build on the insights from the dream. Now,
Oh, I love it.
it's usually at its most useful when the dream is unresolved or has a problem. So what we will
Mm-hmm.
then do is do a dream alchemy to talk to our unconscious mind to release any limitations, basically reprogram your unconscious so you're freer to move forward. If it's a very positive dream with a positive ending, we will usually do a dream alchemy that makes the ending even more positive. Like, to make that really
Mm.
simple, if someone gives you a bunch of flowers at the end of the dream and we've decided that's a good thing, we'll go, yeah, okay, let's make that bunch of flowers 100 times bigger than that. Let's really yes, that's a big thing. In your
Yeah.
dream, you've got the hidden message. You're on the road,
Mm-hmm.
you've got it happening, you just want to take it in small steps. And then you use the lovely word of a green light back. You said, I feel like it's given me a green light. And the limitations that came up during the dream were the thoughts of fear about being an outsider. I think the big one was the feeling that you are going through life at the moment in a situation which is tailored for how you used to be, not for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
there are so many different kinds of dream alchemy you could do for any dream, but one that occurs to me, I should ask you first, are you good at visualizing or do you prefer not to visualize?
I can try.
Okay, because you can do with dream alchemy, you can do visualization, you can do a writing exercise, you can do art and craft, you can do movement with your body. These are different ways of. Do any of these stand out for you?
I love writing. I write my journal since I've been writing my journal since I was a kid. I like visualizations and I love moving my body. So
Okay,
all
all
of those.
three. All right, that's great.
Art
So
doesn't.
I think we'll do moving the body. I'll give you one, and then you can also write about it, make a story of it afterwards to really cement it. So I'm thinking, depending on what you think, that it might be a good idea to imagine yourself wearing that, starting off wearing that blue onesie, but then as you're wearing it, feeling it get looser on you and looking down, and actually it's changed into an amazing outfit, which I'll get you to describe in a minute, which is beautifully tailored and feels really lovely and definitely does not feel like an outsider. It feels vibrant, it feels interesting, all those things you want to be. It's not pushy, it's not pushing you too fast too soon, but somewhere in the pattern it has some little green lights on it as well. So what we're going to do with that visualization is to get you to feel that I'm stepping into a bigger space because I've outgrown the space that I was in, and it's going to look and feel a bit like this. That's going to have green lights, and I'm going to feel totally amazing. As I say that, what kind of outfit springs to mind for you?
Something that is like wavy, very natural materials, um, something light, something that my body feels comfortable in, light colors, kind of earth colors.
Beautiful. That's so lovely. Now, because you're good at visualizing, I described the body movement to do. You could follow through by actually giving yourself permission to go and buy something like that and wear it, but you don't have to. So,
Okay, I like the idea.
okay, that too. So don't wait for that. Do the exercise anyway, but then concrete it by actually going and buying the article as well. And also, by the way, throw out the blue one. So we're doing this
Yes, I will
transformation.
definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So what I would get you to do, not now on Zoom, but afterwards, is to stand up and first of all feel yourself like you were on the boat. Like close your eyes if you can stand up and close your eyes without falling over. If not, keep your eyes open and
Hmm.
and feel yourself wearing that blue onesie and feel that it's tight and feel that it's wrong. And then
Hmm.
start to move your body in whatever way feels good to you, and feel the feeling of this other piece of clothing that you've got on, and you can visualize the colors and the floatiness and everything, and put some little green lights in there as well, the natural, the vibrancy. Feel all of that and let your body do whatever it wants to do to express being bigger, to express your talent, to express your calling, to express channeling, to express connectedness, those 4 points, and also
Hmm.
to express vibrancy and interesting. And just don't stress, don't think I've got to do it this way, just move in a way which feels like that.
I
And
love it.
yeah, and so the more you do that, the more you're telling your unconscious mind using its language to reprogram. You're saying, no, not type blue, this, not this, this, not this, this. And while you're doing it, you're also converting, because I've asked you to feel that vibrancy and feel that freedom and feel that biggerness and feel that talent and feel that calling. You're replacing anything about feeling outside or conflicted. You're reprogramming there as well. So that if you do that, however often you would like, but at least once a day for a couple of weeks,
Mm.
the magic that you'll probably encounter will be that suddenly you'll think, you know what, I know exactly what this is I want to do, because you've released the limitations inside. And then you can take it slowly, like you said, test the water and go from there. How does that sound?
This sounds amazing, and this sounds like something that will give me much pleasure while I will be doing that. So I love it. And I
That's
believe
great.
that what you said, that in a couple of weeks it will give me more clarity. I love
Yes,
it.
that's
Thank
lovely.
you.
It's a pleasure. And I love giving Dream Alchemy that people actually want to do. So that's really good as
Mm.
well. Okay. Look, thank you so much for being such a lovely guest on the Dream
Thank
Show,
you.
Anya. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, Jane Teresa. I absolutely love that. And I'm excited to work more with what you gave me.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's always so lovely to meet a guest on the Dream Show and explore a dream. I should say that if you book a private consultation with me, there are several differences. The main one being that no one else is listening in. It's an entirely confidential discussion between you and me. Other ones are that I'm not hearing your dream for the first time. I'm not rushing to write it down when you're telling me the dream, because I ask you to send me the dream in a written form beforehand, so I have time to look at it and can totally dedicate to talking about your dream, having already thought about it to some extent myself. So, and the third thing, of course, is that because you are aware as a private consultation client that no one else is listening in, you can often share more or ask different kinds of questions. So that's just a little note there. I really enjoyed speaking with Ania. I think she had a wonderful dream to share, and it was a lovely example too of a dream, of working with a dream with a positive ending. And it was so lovely too when she said, "Oh, I like that dream alchemy. I'm really excited to work with that," because when you set someone a dream alchemy that might require a little bit of work or a little bit of thought, it can be, I know, it can be quite difficult to actually do it. So it's really great when it's a dream alchemy that the person is really ready to go and do and embrace, because dream alchemy can sound so simple, it can sound overly simple, but it really works so powerfully to make differences within your unconscious mind, within your unconscious programming, that trickle through and make enormous changes in your life. So thank you for listening to yet another episode of The Dream Show. A reminder, if you'd like to be a guest on The Dream Show, go to janeteresa.com, go to the menu, go to podcasts, and you'll find it from there. And otherwise, have a lovely May, and I'll be back with the next episode in another 4 weeks. I'm Jane Teresa Anderson.